No, to you, it feels like it was smooth, is how I'm gonna say it. Do you feel like maybe they were just, I don't know how to say this without getting in trouble. Did they use objects when you got hit?
Yes, and it wasn't like yeah.
So like
It
a
was
belt or more than that?
no, it was more than that, and also it was like occasionally. It wasn't every 2 weeks or every time we got in trouble. It was out of anger. It was like it would happen like 4 times out of the week. Like that was like the minimum maybe. Like it would happen weekly. It wasn't anything that was like new to us or oh we were being bad or anything like that. No, like Ruby said, we were good. Like I was a good kid. We were all good kids. I don't know. They would just take their anger out on us whenever they were had their issues or had their problems. Like they would like treat us like crap.
So what's the age difference between you and the next oldest kid?
6 years.
So that's a fairly significant age difference. I mean, so if that was going on, because I mean, I know that's a big age difference. So their memory of it is going to be very different than what yours was. Um, but they did that to all of you, is what you're saying?
Yes, they did it to all of us except for I never seen them like use objects for the twins or really like harm the twins a lot because they were still like little babies. They were still very little. So but the rest of us, oh, and Bentley as well, the brother, he also didn't like was like a it was he would get like hit, but it wasn't anything like too many times or too hard, like
So,
yeah, the older ones were the ones that got, like were the ones that
yeah.
it was worse.
So were there ever marks left on y'all? Or you per
Yeah,
se? Let's talk about you and not really them so much. Were there ever marks left on you?
yeah, there was a lot of times always marks left on my legs and on my arms because I would try blocking like the belt. Even my grandma today, she said that she remembers taking a picture of my belt marks, and she would like, and then I'd asked her like, oh well, can you ever get that photo back? And she's like, no, I've switched phones like 3 times since then. So, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
grandmas
oh
don't know how
okay.
to switch that stuff over.
Yeah,
Um,
but the fact was that she finally admitted and told me like, yeah, I do remember because before she was like telling me like, oh no, like I don't like really like I don't know like I don't remember that. But today in front of her daughter and in front of all of us, she admitted and said, yeah, I do remember like I remember taking that photo, but I don't remember like what I did with it. And I was like, yes, you do. Like you addressed Ruby. You went to her and you told her like, oh, like this shouldn't be happening, and I was like, you made it worse, and she was like, so we just had to talk about that.
yeah. So were there ever any before you ran away, were there other CPS reports ever about any of y'all, any of the children?
Yeah, I was involved a lot in CPS throughout my childhood. When I was younger, I lived with my grandma until I was 6 years old, and after that, I went with Ruby. Finally got custody of me.
So
So
in the other
she
interview you said 4. So is it 4 or 6?
It's sick because now that I addressed it with my auntie, and she was like, "That's crazy," because the room I lived in when I was a child, and the house that they're in, I lived with them in this house basically when they moved in here. So and around that timeline, I was older, so it was 6, and my auntie confirmed with me that it was age 6.
Okay. Okay. So that clarifies why that age was different.
Yeah, I think and I get it. Remember, it's a traumatic event, so I get it confused.
Yes.
Ruby never told me the truth about my father, so I feel like my father left me at 4, and I still was left with my grandma up until 6 until Ruby got custody of me. So that's probably where I got it mixed up. Like, oh, I like 4 years old, but it was a lot that I was never told. So that's why it's like I'm figuring this all out by
No,
myself too.
I completely understand. So Yeah, and to clarify that, that is a super common thing for as the victim is talking about the things that they've gone through, they start to remember more because you suppress a lot when you've been through trauma like this. So that is a common thing, and that can it. I mean, you really do. You block out certain things, and then once you start unloading them, that's why, like in therapy, you keep going because you start unloading them, and then you remember more and more. So that is common. But you know, like I said, if your side is true, then being honest is the best policy. So, and also pointing out, like, you're still 18 years old. I mean, to me, you're a kid still. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. You're just still a child. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying, like, I don't expect you to be 100% like ready to take on the world. You're 18. So let's clear this up. You said that, or I saw something. I don't know if you told me that she would threaten to send you to boot camp.
Yeah, that would happen a lot where Milton would threaten me to send me to boot camp, and they would have like search histories, and they would show me search histories like, look, I've been looking into this one. This is a good one. This is another one. Like, you go here, you wake up early. Like, they would use that to threaten me. Like, oh, like, and it wasn't even like I was doing horrible things. Like, I was literally like, oh, if I wanted to play the video game for too long, like, or if I wanted to like get snacks or get like food like without like their permission, like in the kitchen, like and I'm sure it was a lot more like to handle. It wasn't just that, but it wasn't never to the point like we were never ever bad kids, like to the point where you should be threatening your kids or even hitting us. Like she should not have been hitting us.
Yeah. So like in my household, I mean, just to clarify, spanking is not illegal. Even spanking with a belt isn't. They leave that up to parents, and I know that's a sucky thing to hear. But statistics show that spanking literally does nothing. So I just want to clarify that for everyone. But I don't think anybody deserves to be hit, especially a child. So
I forgot to address the objects that they would use. She would use like hangers. She would use the ironing. You know, the thing they used to iron. Like, that happened like a few times. It's like whatever she can basically get in her hand that was like not too crazy, but something that you could use, like, not to like go like harm the child, but like something
it
that
was
she'd like
their form of discipline. It was just their form of discipline. Whatever they could grab, a spoon or, a wooden spoon or whatever type of thing.
No, I've never gotten hit with a wooden.
Not a wooden spoon? Dang, they do that in the South, dude.
And never a chancla either. I never was hit with a chancla. But
that might have felt better.
Also a lot. It was also a lot of times their hands too, and like they would claim that their hands were getting tired, and it wasn't enough to like to get it into our heads. So like they're like, oh, like this is why we hit you with other things, because our hands hurt after hitting you guys. Like, you guys don't listen. Like, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it in your head. Like, so yeah, that's
when you say that, to clarify something, the person that lost custody in my case, that was exactly what they said after. They said, did that hurt? I hope it hurt, because my hand hurts. So something like that, like, my hand hurts from hitting you so much, and that is why they lost custody, because of that. So I sympathize with you for that, because when I heard those words come from children I love, I was like, you can only imagine the type of things I wanted to do to another adult who would do that to a child. So absolutely, that's horrific. Do you think that, do you think you were in a dangerous situation? Like, truly, do you think it would have gotten worse? Do you think, like, obviously there's cases like the Gabriel Fernandez case, and that is the same county that you were in, correct?
Yes.
So if you're not familiar with the Gabriel Fernandez case, that's about a little boy who was misused by his mother and stepfather, horrifically, there were multiple reports, and CPS let him down over and over and over again, until he lost his life. So in a horrific way. If you've not watched that documentary, it is on it was on Netflix, but you should watch it and realize that that's the CPS that they were dealing with. And I'm not saying that that's exactly similar to your case, but I'm just saying that they let kids down all the time. They really do.
It's the county that lets them down. It's not like this situation. It wasn't like a Gabriel Fernandez. Like they treated him like really badly, but it's more like a Ruby Frank situation. It's exactly like a Ruby Frank situation. It's not.
So do you feel like I mean, and that's good. That's good to say that it was more like the Ruby Frankie situation. Do you feel like it started? Because how old were you when she started YouTube?
I don't know exactly, but probably around like 13.
Okay. So do you feel like it got worse when she started doing YouTube?
Absolutely. It got worse. Not even, it was, bad around YouTube, but it got worse when she started going live on Big O. That was the app that she first started going live on, and she would sit in her room and all day and like all night she would just sit in there and be on live, and like we would go to Airbnbs and stuff, but like we would have to, like I'd have to watch the kids in the house, and she would go outside and like just be on the live, and like, you know, she was trying to get money out of the Big O app, but she wouldn't even do nothing like talk on there. She would literally just stay mute and just show herself and like just show try to show her body. Like it was getting worse when I was even living there. But after leaving, I've noticed that it's gotten like even worse. Like it's no joke now. Like every single day she's leaving those children, and they don't have a mother. They don't have like they have nobody.
So I will say, like, though I feel some for her, and me and you have spoken about this, because as a mother, I can understand the fears she had. I definitely think her parenting style is not okay. And I definitely, like, there's a lot. This is a long interview, and at any point you want to just say, F this, I don't want to do this anymore, you let me know and you can jet out, because I'm not going to re-victimize you. But I sympathize with her as a mother, because I can only imagine the fear that your child ran away. However, you have to take accountability for why your kid ran away. Is my thing, is the strictness, the punishments, the parentification. And that is a lot of what I see the problem is. Obviously, like, so CPS would tell us and our family that they can't take kids away for a mom just being a bad mom. Literal words from CPS. So they can only take them away when it's really, really dangerous for the kid. So I'm definitely.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
That's even what the CPS worker told me after I got back the first time. She was asking me, like, I was telling her I don't feel safe in this house. Like, I don't feel safe. I feel like something will happen to me if I don't feel safe in this house. And she was saying, well, why, what have they done to like make you feel unsafe? And I'm like, they put like, the stuff that they done, I was telling them, but they're like, what, like proof that you had? Like, they weren't working with me because I didn't have no physical proof at all. Like, they were basically, they took Ruby's side so good. Like, just because the law's on her side, she thinks that she's in the right, but she won't take no accountability to why she drew me away and I ran away. Like, she won't explain none of that.
So, and that's what I want to address. So maybe her parenting what she was doing wasn't illegal, but was it good parenting? I don't think so. And I mean, I've said I've told her that I don't agree with the parenting choices and styles, but I am also a strict parent. When is too far is the reality. I can tell you this much. I don't put hands on my kids, and especially at 16. And I don't know. I just think that's crazy. If you had parented good enough, you shouldn't have to worry about putting your hands on your kid at 16 years old. So when you came home from the first runaway incident,
Yeah.
did you get hurt then?
No, they didn't lay a finger on me. They would just very, very, they would like verbally treat me like crap. Like they
Emotionally
literally were
and
like, they were telling me,
manipulatively.
yeah, they were like, look, like now you got this involved, you're gonna get your siblings taken away and all because you want to be a little like a bee and this and that. Like, so yeah, I haven't even thought about that time, but that was the situation.
And at any point, if you need to take a break, you're more than welcome to. The chat will be completely understanding. And even if they're not, I don't care. Uh, so because a lot of these questions are hard. Um, so someone asked, how old was your mom when she had you?
Yesterday I did the math, like I did the math really, and I believe she was 17 when she got pregnant, and she was 18 when she had me. And then also even me and my auntie, she said that she had me after she graduated, but I think my auntie said she thinks she was still in school, and after she got pregnant with me, she dropped out. She just like she didn't graduate, which that's my point. So it's just another lie that she continues to say.